the various location, and then cleaning the data itself. So then you start analyzing the data. So this is what the data analyst does. And when we talk about where the data analysis is working, data analyst can work in any various sector. Like me, I work with the Nigerian airports as a IT, but I still processing the information. Like I'm still making analyzing the information of the very uh, organizations. So like in the baseline, there's different data will come. So as a data analyst, your job is to make that understandable. So a data analyst can work in anything because we are using data in day-to-day life, and everywhere we're using the data. So as a data analyst, you can work everywhere, but this is not like a promise, but you can work everywhere as a data analyst, just like an IT person. So what tools the data analyst use? As a data analyst, you need to use a tools. Okay, we said that we have the data collection. So the data collection requires a tools that can you can collect the data. It depends on what data you need to, what the data you want to collect. And like for electronic data in the remote area, you can use like a COBOL and ODKs and other Comcares, and you can use Excel as well. And for the data cleaning, you need like you need Excel, the Power Query, the R, Python, because some data you can't analyze some data. You can transform some data using this. Like when you carry a large data, saying that you want to analyze the data using the Google Sheet, that is very hard for you to analyze, which you require data that can that you can transform that large data set, like a R language, SQL, and SQL, and then Teda. Okay. For the data visualization, we have the Tableau, we have the data visual, Power BI, we have the Python for customization. Because Python, I believe that among the language, Python is one of the rated language that you can use for even for the game and design. So you can use it for customizing your data visualization. So these are the tools you need for data analysis. Let's move on the before we move to the data consolidation. I would like to know if I did not make any confuse to someone. So I want to know if someone has any question on this understanding the data analysis, or you want me to make the emphasize on something.
Yes, great one, Mr. Muhammad. Also, before the questions and answers, I will want to appreciate some of our colleagues that have joined the call, who are equally in the same industry with you. Like I saw David Amos, I believe he's
David
from
Evans.
IMAP. Yeah, sure. Also
Yes,
work with
yes.
IMAP. And then we have Jeremiah Ngada Joseph, who is
Mm-hmm.
also the mill officer with ZOA. These are colleagues who may want to come in and clarify or share some opinion to ease the understanding to other colleagues. So David Amos, Mr. Jeremiah Ngada, it's a great pleasure to have you on the call. So the floor is a bit open, I would say, for like 5 minutes. For like 5 minutes, if anyone have some question to clarify the meaning of data analytics, what a data analyst does on day-to-day basis, and the tools they work with, as he rightly introduced. If there is no question, we will move ahead to dive into data consolidation.
I think David is raising hand.
Yes, go ahead, please. Unmute yourself and speak up.
Hi, can you hear me, Bashir?
Yes. You are loud
Good
and clear.
evening. Yeah, good evening. And it's good to be here. It's my first time joining your masterclass, and I'm happy that Musa is taking us through this course. I believe I don't have any question, just I think what he said is rightly the true definition as well as everything for basic level, what it means to be a data analyst as well as the definition as well. But if I have any comment, I'm going to raise my hand and then unmute myself and talk about it. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. David, and it's wonderful hearing your voice again. Mr. Al-Bashir, are you there?
Yes, Musa, I think we can proceed. There's no one raising up his hand.
Okay. So, a data consolidation. When we talk about the data consolidation is like having data from a multiple sources. Okay, like a different location. Let me use this one. Okay, let's assume we have data that come from Yobe, or the data that come from Lagos, or the data that come from Borno State. Okay, and that data they're using same standardization. When we say same standardization, like the same template are using, so and you want to perform the data analysis of that data is the same thing, the same format you use in Lagos or in anywhere and Borno State is the same thing that you that they just provide the data to you, the information. So, and you want to perform the data analysis, we have a way to match those data to come together in order for us to do once and for all data analysis and the cleaning, data analysis, let me say as well. Let me share my screen again so that we can see how we can do the consolidation. And then once again, the consolidation is merging different data that has same format. Okay, so I think I can, let me start Excel. So here I have an empty Excel and I want to consolidate. I have a data here. Okay, I have this data from different three different locations, and all of this data if I open it, it has same format, like a header. You see that I have a beneficiary name, I have the name, age, camp location, family size, and so uh, same as the rest of these Kondiga and Bama. So now I want to transform this data so that I can start cleaning the data. Okay, so for you to consider, we have two process of consideration, and that's for the basic. Let me say this. Um, you can copy and paste this, and you can call the data using the direct from the folder and in Power Query. Okay, so I'm going to use the both. Now I have this data, and I want to consolidate these three data together. So simply, if I open my Excel here, this is the empty sheet, and there is no anything in it. I will simply go direct to data. Okay, yes, data. So when you go to the data, you have to get the data. And I said that we're going to get that data from my computer because I already have them in my computer, and I want to import them together. I want to merge them so that I can perform the data cleaning. So I can simply go by from file. Okay, so that's the offline version of the data. So then I will say from folder. So now I have to locate the exact where I organize those data. So I'll just simply open the download. Okay, so this is the folder where I organize my my three data. So if I open it, you see that is no items because the format is not the Excel format. Like this particular thing. Okay, now if I open it here, you see that I have the XLS, right? But here I say from the folder, get data. If I say from the Excel, I can see the data. But if I say from the folder, I cannot see the data, but I can see the folder. So it means automatically I need to get this data, this folder. This is where my data is. So we'll just simply import it. So now you see that I have the Bama, Jiri, Kondiga, same size of the data. So I have to combine them and load. If I want to edit, then I will use this transform data. But if I want to combine just to have the data and then look into it, then direct without editing anything, I can just click combine and load the data. So I have to click this. So now I have to select it. Yes, I select the sheet. Then you just simply click OK. So now we have the data from all the locations. You see, Bama, Jiri, Kondiga. But before, my data, all of the data has this header. But now Excel understand that, okay, the header is the same, so it has to remove the Jiri header since we already have our own header here and merge it with the data. So here, this is the first step of starting the analysis. If you have the data from a different sources, like a different location. So now let's close this. Since we have this, we see how we can combine the data from using call the data using the folder. Okay. So now we have another method of compiling this, merging this data. I have to open this. This is Jerry. Then now, if I have Jerry, I will just simply open it and copy. So if I copy, I will just simply paste it. So let me paste it like this. Okay. Then now I have to go back and close the Jerry since I already copied. Then I come back again, open Bama. So now I will not copy with the header since I already have one header at the first data. So you have to copy it and paste it here. I mean, so here we have one problem of copying and pasting a data. The issue is that, look at this. In Jerry, the length of my data did not reach the same size as it is in Bama. But using the calling from folder, it creates another space where my header can extend. Like I can put the data without getting any removing some header here. Okay. I don't know if you understand. Let me open Jerry again. Look at Jerry. Jerry, here we have beneficiary name, we have a beneficiary ID, we have the beneficiary name, age, camp, location, contact, food aid receive, cash receive. But in Bama, we have beneficiary name, age, gender. Here we don't have gender. You see the differences? So means one column is missing here in Jerry. So using the copy and first, it already tell me that the field is incomplete. But when I use calling from folder, you notice that I have the same size. It just create a space under the header instead of removing the header. I don't know if you understand. Hello? Hello?
Yes, yes, we are with you.
Yes, I'm trying to explain something here. The importance of calling the data, automating the data for instead of using the manual approach.
Yes,
So,
we have been following up. It is well understood.
okay. So this is most of the time, calling the range from the folder. It sometimes give you the Excel itself will fix some errors to you. So
Yes, so the most important thing there is to be mindful of the number of columns, especially the
yes,
column headers.
especially when okay, now that in Jerry I don't have a gender column.
Column. Mm.
Yes, and the other data I have gender. So here I can simply come and insert. So give it a space. Give it a space like this. Yes, I can do that because later on we will come to the cleaning. You see some field some cells were missing input. So the importance of consolidating data, automating automatic consolidation is that if there is any gap or missing header on your data, it will just adjust it to fit to that very other data. But manual will automatically show you, okay, sometimes if you convert it to the table, it will just show errors that the size of column is not reach or something like that. Let me close all and consolidate again using the okay. So now I'll just consolidate it using the folder. Okay, I will load and combine. Okay, now you see that we have same size of the data. It's just create a space for that missing input or Jerry. So this is the first step. We now have our data. Here we do the needful thing. So cleaning. The cleaning data is finding the date of the data. What is date is that missing information or wrong input on the data. So you need to understand the data. What the data is. Now I understand that my data has a beneficiary ID. We have the name of the beneficiary. We have the age. We have the gender. We have the count. We have a household. And we have a contact number. So, but look at this here. Here under gender, we have location, which is not supposed to be here. So as a data analyst, when cleaning the data, you're supposed to fix this particular field by changing them, and some missing the information, you cannot like say you just do oversight and trying to change the information. Some data can be you have to confirm from the end of the person that been sending that data. But if the data is uh, automate or electronics, then you need to understand the context of that data. So first, we're going to identify the missing, the duplicate first. Let's say the duplicate. Then identifying the missing input. After identifying the missing input, then wrong input. These things are very, very important because whenever you just transform you just interpret the data, it won't make sense at all. But cleaning the data will allow you to have a clear information where you can inform. Okay, so let's look at this. Here we have okay, maybe I can use my own method that I usually used to do. I can cut this and put it somewhere outside. To me, this is what I usually do. So and you can use the formula to adjust this particular missing so I will have to bring it back. So now here is Jerry. We understand that in Jerry there is a missing of count, and then if the count is, we know that we conducted it in one count, let's say in Jerry count, then we can fill this information. Since the information is missing, we can just fill it by ourselves. Then look at this place. We have missing name. We have the age, we have everything intact, but we don't have the name. So this is like something we need to look into again. And then look at this age. The age range is 120 years old. This is impossible sometimes. If we look at the reason of that data or what the data is all about, are we targeting those people like that has the kind of that age? And if yes, then maybe is a kind of a red flag to check where we have this person. Is it true or is just a normal error? But looking at the data, we understand that most of this data is totally error. And we know that we cannot have the 12-year-old. So maybe the data is just a missing or we can confirm it from the person. But for me, I would just remove the one. Oh, and look at this here. I think there is somewhere. Okay. Now you confirm the duplicate. If you said that you want to confirm the duplicate using the name, now if I go to this, I say that I want to use the highlight of duplicate, finding the duplicate, I'll have the whole of the data is like I have a multiple duplicate. But sometimes we doing concatenation to find the duplicate data. Okay, we cannot assume only now. If I say Bama, I want to find the duplicate. All Bama, I will have the duplicate for the whole Bama data. But we need to use some unique IDs. Okay, look at the beneficiary ID here, and if this ID and the name, same age, same location, same house size, if we have this something like this, is totally a duplicate. It's understandable. But if just a name, you can have Aisha, like 5 Aisha in Bama, but different ages. I don't know if you understand this. And also, there is something like here. Let's assume here we have a male. And we know that Aisha is a female. So this is very understandable to identify that, saying, okay, this is a human error or something like that. We can correct this kind of information. But for the information of the amount, you can assume, saying that, okay, maybe she just forgot to put the amount. Let me put 2,000. Totally wrong. You just put the zero. Important thing is that in analysis, you don't have to leave a blank space in your data. Make sure you put all the data, you put all the zero in the missing information that beyond your capability to correct. Okay, and one more thing is that when performing an analysis, let me shuffle this to come right. Okay, every figure that at the left hand, the Excel or any tool that you use would read this as not as integer. It will just they will understand it as a character, and character can be the text. Look at this. Anything in text is at the left hand. Okay, but the number supposed to be in the right hand. That's why whenever I put the number, let me go to different place and put 5 thing. You see? But if I write Musa, it will remain there. So it's also important to before taking to the next stage to identify this. Why this figures is in the right hand, left hand, I mean. So this is a quick tips on data cleaning and what the data cleaning is all about. So the next is data analysis. So before we jump to the data analysis, I would like to hear from the audience if there is any other question. So someone is raising hand. Please unmute your mic and ask. I don't know if it's right.
So Bukar Babagana is first, then yes, go ahead, Bukar Babagana.
Okay, good evening all.
Good evening.
This is Bukar Babagana from Yobe State. I have some questions to the presenter. Thank you for this wonderful presentation. My first question is regarding the data consolidation.
Okay.
When you have a very large set of data, you want to consolidate them using the practical one that you use, the last example you gave. So assuming the 3 data, they are not reading the same field. The other first one has 5 fields. The other one has like 7. The other one have 5. The 2 are the same field. They are having 5 fields. Other one has 7. So in this situation, how can you determine what is going on during the automatic consolidation?
Okay. First, before you come, maybe there is a missing point in my explanation. First, before you even consolidate the data, you have to cross-check the data individually. That will give you additional insight on where the data is missing the column. Understand? So because if you now consolidate the data, just okay, let's say from Yobe I received the data, and from Borno, Adamawa I received the data, I just decided to consolidate the data before I start even cross-check individual location. I totally do the wrong thing, because if I take it to the stage of consolidation, it's like I already took the a first stage of starting the analysis. You understand? So you need to understand the each location, individual location data first. Okay, now you satisfy that that's why some people don't really do the cleaning at the same time. Okay, they do the data cleaning per locations. So once they're done with this location, they combine the data together to take it for the analysis after they clean the data. You understand?
Yes,
So yes, for
Okay,
having a
still I
large.
have other questions.
Okay.
okay, Booker, go ahead. Then we give it to Muhammad Zaji, and
Okay.
then we go back to
Okay, as a
Jeremiah.
professional data, as a specialist, when you discover you have a duplicate and a
Yes,
missing information, what is a professional way of dealing with this kind of data? When
it
you have a
depends.
very large set of data,
Okay.
very one that you cannot be able to glance and detect the missing fields.
Okay, I explained the tools that we use for the data analysis. Okay, if I were you, for the data analysis that has a big, a large data set, I will not go for the Excel just to start doing it by writing. I will use the R language. Okay, most of these people that are dealing with large data, we're using a language where we make a command on that data. So there's difference between using Excel to do the small data or small medium data analysis, and then using the like R or other Python to do the analysis of the large set data. I don't know if I answer your question.
Okay, so maybe also like on Excel, he's looking for like a formula if the data is that much. I understand that is null. I think using the is null, you can be able to detect the cell that is null without any value and then replace it with like the zero you impute. I guess that is where he's heading to. But I see Jeremiah raising up his hand. Maybe he want to throw more light before we come back to Muhammad, because I believe his own may not be a question. Jeremiah, please unmute yourself.
Hello, class. Hello, Al-Bashir. And thank you, Musa Mohammed, for the wonderful presentations. This is my first time of joining also. Mine, it's not a question per se. It's just that, one of the 6 dimensions of data quality is completeness of data. So Musa Mohammed also highlighted, in order to avoid rooms for assumptions, maybe when we are training people that will get the data, we have to emphasize that apart from data accuracy, data completeness is also very important to so that we avoid room for assumptions.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just want to highlight that.
Thank you, Mr. Jeremiah.
Thank you very much, Jerry. Muhammad Jazi Bunu, please ask your question.
Okay, my question goes like this. Before that, but thank you, my mentor, Musa Muhammad Lawan, and thank you, Al Bashir, for hosting this master class for data analysis. My question is that you said based on the missing number when it comes to data analysis, when you miss something that is character that is integer, you will replace it with 0. While when you miss something that is character, what are you going to do with that? Like name or something like that?
Okay, I think I highlighted something here. Okay, let me share again. So, okay, so look at this, a place like this. So here we have Fatima, and then Fatima is 12 years old, right? So, and we have a missing gender. So this is very understandable, and we know that we can just put a female. Since Fatima, we know that Fatima is female. So this is not as an assumption. This is a standard way that gender every Fatima is a female. In a normal gender, we can say. You understand? So, like when we say the missing location, yeah, if you can see that after I consolidate my data, I know that I have Jerry data like this, right? So Jerry missing camp location, and I know that the activities carry on in Jerry camp. You understand? And this data particularly is from Jerry. Is from Jerry. So this is also understandable. I can put Jerry. You understand? And look at this Fatima again. It's also female. So, but now if something that deals with like a narrative thing, you have no, it's beyond your doing to say that okay, you're now going to put someone's opinion for a data analysis. That's why people say the data analysis always deal with statistic data. A statistic data is just dealing with the figures.
Yes.
I don't know if I answer your question.
Yes, you have answered my question. Then I have
Thank you.
another question, sorry.
Okay.
You said based on the process of consolidation, which are copy and paste,
Mm.
and the magic one, which one is very accurate that you will use?
The accuracy depends on you, how you approach the system. Okay.
Okay.
But we always, in data analysis, time is also important. Now, if I have the data that has a range of like in Yobe, I have data that has 2,000 columns or something like that. Okay. Let's say I have 10 locations. So if I say I want in Borno, if I have 10 location and I want to start copy and first, it will take time for me to, even to minimize. That's why we have a shortcut key most of the time, you understand? So
Yes.
this using the approach of calling them from the folder, I think is the best important that it will just combine and at once. So you can call 10 locations at the same time and they will consolidate. I don't know if this also answered.
Yes, and I think, Muhammad, at this
You have
point,
answered
like
my
we
question.
have to
Thank you.
proceed to the next stage. And maybe one thing I also like to add is Khalid Adamu, I have been muting you and you unmute yourself. There's a background noise with you. You are not speaking. Mute yourself, please. So I have muted you. Please don't unmute again unless you have a question. So the aspect of outliers, maybe technical terms also useful and relevant in a data where you are looking for maybe the age of adults and you see 150, a human being is difficult to live for 150 years. The error could be just the one that have been added in front. So that is basically called the outlier, like on the 120 that you explained. Kindly proceed to the next stage, and then we finally have a bigger time for question and answer. This is 5 already.
Yes. Okay. And the next of is analysis. Okay. The analysis, we have different approaches of doing the analysis. That's where we make the data we have as useful to, we interpret the data. So data analysis of data is interpreting the data. Like I say that, okay, now if I give you a cup of water and then empty cup, and then I give you a sugar and lifting, then it's left for you to decide what to do with that. Okay, so if you just take that thing to someone, someone cannot understand, okay, what all this is all about. But putting that together to make a very uh, tea is what the means of the analysis of the data. Okay, let me share my screen again. I'm going to use the same data. Okay. Okay. first step of data analysis after you clean, then you need to recheck and recheck again. So this is the important stage. So when you consolidate your data and you clean the data and you recheck that your data is now at the 90% accuracy, then now you proceed to the analysis of the data. The analysis of the data, look at this now. So if I say here, I want to take this data, what is the essence of this data? What's the essence of this particular column here? So you need to understand what is the need of this data, what you are trying to do with this information you collect as a data analyst. Okay, so let me just do the quick quiz here. Can someone tell me, looking at this data, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? This is for everyone.
Okay, we have MB raising up his hand. Do you want to respond to the question?
Zajibuni? Yes, I can see. Do you have any questions, Zajibuni? You want to respond to the question? Okay. Okay. By looking at this data, to me, I understand that we are trying to identify the people that receive food aid and then those that receive the car and how much they receive. Okay, and what are the size of the household and then their location and then their gender. I can tell this. Okay, sometimes at times we don't need the name to for the analysis sometimes, but some data require analysis. But for me as here now, I don't need this. Maybe I can start by highlighting it. Okay, I will need this, that's location. I need the family size, then I will need this, and then I will need this, then the age. Okay, I'll quickly just put something here so that assuming I clean my data. This is okay. So now for this, I'm going to use the simple analysis method to extract the useful information. Okay, so I'm going to use the pivot table. That's the basic and very simple one before now before using the formula. So for the analysis using the formula, sometimes if you want to use the X lookup and the V lookup, okay, the X lookup is like when you're trying to find a data using one piece of a unique identifier. Let's say when we're trying to find any person that come from Nigeria or from America, any number that calls from America and then from Nigeria, we know that we have the country code. Okay, so using the X lookup, and here we have the ID. Same thing like that. We have the ID here. So this ID could be a unique identifier, where we can use this to rely. Okay, we say that okay, any ID that or any person that from Burma, we can just call it to our analysis sheet. But now we're not going to use the formula. We're going to use the simple analysis method using the pivot table. Okay, so simply for you to use the pivot table, You can create your analysis. Let me see analysis. So now I have my analysis sheet. Here I have the data. So I'm going to call this data to here so that I can start working on it. Okay, now for you to use the pivot table, you can simply go to insert. When you go to insert, you see the pivot table here. So you just simply click it. Okay, data, that's the hold this particular table. So is it on new sheet or on existing sheet? I already created the sheet, so I will just click this existing sheet and select this one. So I have it here. So I'll click OK. Oh, sorry. Then I'll just click anywhere around and press OK. So now I have my pivot table section. So if you look at this side, you see that we have all the header that we have here. The source name, the beneficiary ID, name, age, blah, blah, all we have it here. So now I decided I want to first identify females in Burma. Okay. So let me start by dragging the camp location. So this particular site here, you have all the header of your data. So here we have filter, and we have the column, we have the row, we have the value. So the value is where you can sum the numbers or count a number. It depends on how you want to do it. And then here is that when you want to put something in a column format or in a row, you can use it here. So let me just simply drag LGA location. Okay, yeah, I think I have to put it here. So now I have a row, then gender. Sorry, it cannot count this as so if you want to count how many females are in Burma, how many males are in Burma, you need a number. You can use the formula of identifying, like if statement. Okay, if this is 1, if this is female, then you can use 1, or if this is or if this is male, you can use 2, something like that. Let me just go with, okay, let me just identify the number of people that we have. So we have 10 per each location. Now let's go back to Jerry and say, so that we can just have a different number of data. Sorry, I did not save it since we all. Okay, now I save my data. So now I want to refresh this. Okay, now you see that these are the total people that we have in Burma, because we just use the gender to count how many people are in this location. Okay, but I use gender, just a manipulation. All right, you can open the settings. Okay, locations. Okay, sorry. Which. So now I already have the first. I identify that, okay, in this each location, these are the numbers of people that I reach in that location. So now this is the first one. So if you want to do another things, you cannot say that you're going to use the same pivot table that you use for this and do another thing. If you add anything here, it will affect your initial one that you use. So I don't want to use that. I'll just go and import another analysis, another pivot table. So just go back to insert, then pivot table, then existing one, then select, and I'll click just at the down of it. So here I have another one. So now I can use to count to just display people that say yes. Okay. Let me say yes, no. People that receive cash items. So I still want to use gender since we're just counting. So receive put items. Receive put 8. Total. Then still, if I want to additional information, I will keep doing it like this. So it's like now I'm trying to explain that, okay, from this data, from like this, I'm now trying to make people understand, okay, in these particular locations, these are the number of people that we reach, and then for receiving put items, these are the numbers that receive these put items, and then those that do not receive, and then these are the number of people that receive the put 8. You understand? So data analysis also, the analysis the data is also not stopped like this. You need something to represent it, because some people will not understand this. But when you add it with something like representing with chart and like bar chart, pie chart, you can also make this very understandable to other people. So every element can look at the data. Okay, this is how the trend of the data is. This is the number of people the male that we reach. These are the number of female that we reach, and these are the total number of people that we reach in this particular location. Let's use one sample here and import the chart. So I'm not going to use bar chart, the on a stack chart. So you can do the same like this. Sometimes making just doing the analysis without representing, without interpreting the data using the data visualization, it doesn't make the data to be understandable. Now we just extract the data here. We just extract the user pool and we interpret it. This is what we need. And now here is the real interpretation of the data is. Here is where you can inform, okay, this is the trend, and in a graphical representative approach. So in a short language, this is the what the data analysis is all about. So I want to hear from you if there is any question. Leave that 15 minutes after 5.
Yes. So thank you very much for this wonderful insight, presentation, practical demonstration, and a lot of wonderful explanation on data cleaning, data consolidation, cleaning, and then finally analysis. So before we open the floor for question and answers, and for other colleagues to also comment or give some input, we'll want all of you to kindly open your camera so that we will have a group picture as usual. You know, we always want to have some pictures to share with everyone on our platform. This is a learning community. So kindly open your cameras for the group picture, and then we proceed to question and answers. Please. Yes. Some of you have started coming up. We need to see your beautiful faces.
Mr. David, why are you smiling? We say group pictures. It's not a pre-wedding picture.
We want all of you to appear in our pictures. Please on your cameras. We can't see the rest of you. Please on your camera for a group picture. We still have some people who are not here. Okay, let's snap the first one. Now we have
Who
a
is this
number
Elon
of
Musk?
colleagues.
Who is this Elon Musk with the X name?
I've gotten the first one. Let's have the second one so that other colleagues will appear too. So let's have like 2 or 3. Let me see it. I pinning this guy. So let me put us in like together mode or some kind of. Okay. Okay, so I think I have gotten some. Let's now move on to the question and answer session. So if any one of you have question regarding the entire session, you can kindly raise up your hand and we follow serially to have your question answered. Also, Mr. David Amos and Jeremiah, if you want to throw more light on anything, please kindly unmute yourself and speak up. So the floor is open for all of us now. Okay, over to you, David. Let's start with David, then we have Muhammad, right? Muhammad Zaji.
All right. Thank you, Al-Bashir, and thank you, Musa, for the presentation as well as the masterpiece of tutorial or masterclass, as you said, that you have done. Like I said again, it's my first time, and I know this is like a beginner class, but I just want to make a few comments, not just a question. So regarding analysis and the most important thing or important task you need to do is to know your audience. I think it's very important. So you can have huge data sets. Now, you also need to also know the objective of the research. What are you trying to get out of the data? Because you can decide to create fancy visuals, a lot of charts and everything that at the end they don't make any useful sense, or they don't really convey the information you're trying to get. So it's also important to know the research objective. So if you're looking at household level information, beneficiary information, a good example, a scenario of the flooding that recently happened in Maiduguri. So you should know the kind of metrics you are going to have visualized as well as summarized, so that those key visuals will convey the information that your audience, like I said, audience very important. It could be non-technical people, it could be technical people. So for non-technical people, you can try to represent those information in as much as possible in a simpler manner, such that they will be able to understand. But for technical people, I mean, it's understandable. Me and you can create some kind of complex chart, and we'll be able to drive such information. So this is also important. Just wanted to throw more lights on this. Knowing your audience as well as your analysis should be able to answer a particular question, not just because you can have as many column or features that you have on your data set, but knowing those key features that we'll be able to use to drive insight into the data, it's very important. So over from my side. Thank you, Al-Bashir.
Thank you very much, Mr. David Amos. And it's a great pleasure, I would say it's a great pleasure to have you join us today on the learning community. So what we are having is a learning community where youth usually come together to learn and upskill all together. So we've been doing this for quite some time, and we really want to see the likes of you joining us, because today you are sharing or giving an example from the perspective of humanitarian work, and some colleagues here are into data analytics in its general form. So we want to see you share that data analytics in the context of humanitarian with the community. I believe our next session we will go through like the aspect of humanitarian need assessment and all those steps you usually follow during the IMAP training. This is definitely going to come from one of you. I've been reaching out to Suleiman Badamasi, but he's yet to be free of some tight schedule. So I believe you can start before we reach out to him. And for other colleagues that are here, I would want to inform you that David Amos is not only a colleague in the humanitarian sector, but also my classmate from the computer engineering department, University of Maiduguri. So it's a great pleasure to have you once again. He's our
Thank
guru
you.
those days.
No.
I will
Thank you,
have to
Al-Bashir.
let the cat out of the bag.
Yes, and
Our
also
first
my
class.
boss. And also my boss is Abashi.
So nice to
Thank you,
have you
Al-Bashir.
once again. Yes.
See, you're doing a great job. I mean, this is one of the modules that IMAP have, the capacity building unit. So we have young professionals who are eager to join into the IT field, and most of the times we don't get this opportunity and platform to have free training like this. You could imagine for you to have a one-on-one tutor, as well as for you to have access to guidelines, roadmap on how you can achieve. I can tell you a lot of testimonies can come as a result of this platform that you have created. And I can tell you, keep up the good job, because very soon you're going to have a huge community, as well as I will encourage you to reach out to people a lot including donors, and then you can get funded for this kind of activity. And people like Musa, I believe, is also a beneficiary of this kind of activity. And I'll be happy to take you through some of the courses like you said earlier. It's open, I mean, and you can reach out to me or send me an email and I'll respond to that. I'll also share highlights on most of the trending tools that is currently in use by most of the specialists in the humanitarian community. So good to have you and good to hear from you and good to see your face again. It's been a long time. Thank you.
Yeah. And congratulations to the community for having another expert join us who are
You're welcome.
committed to support us. Okay, so let's move on to the question and answer session. Jerry, I hope you, okay, I will give you the time maybe even later to throw more light or share your own insight. We want to see you come from the angle of the monitoring, evaluation, and learning also in the coming weeks. So who do I have on the list? AM Dungus, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so thank you so much for the insightful data analytic masterclass today. Your explanations were crystal clear, and the examples you provided really helped me understand the concept better. Especially now, I appreciated how you connected the theoretical aspect to the real world application. A little bit question of me is that what are the common challenges and necessary solutions encountered during the data consolidation? Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Dunkus, for this your question. Like I said, some of the challenges that you may encounter, especially for some of the getting data from other source, you may encounter a
Did we just lost Muhammad Musa? Or can you hear him?
No, sir, we can't hear you, sir.
Okay, it's
Hello.
like he is no longer in the call, right?
Yeah, it
Okay.
seems so.
Yes, he is back.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, please continue, Muhammad, Musa Muhammad now. We are with you now. Musa, are you there?
yeah, sorry, I thought I've been speaking, so it's my mic is just muted.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So one of the things you may encounter during the consolidation using the manual method, first we encountered one, right? When you look at my data, when trying to consolidate, there is a gap. There is some ranges of the data that have not reached, that not correlating with others. So that will also make something you may not realize where that data is being affected if you not check it correctly. So when you consolidate, it will just sometimes it will show errors like the range will not reach or something like that. So, and if you're using the direct from the folder, So direct from the folder also may have a different challenges. I think I encountered several times when I'm trying to consolidate. I don't know if it's just a different technical things, but when I'm trying to consolidate through the folder, it also has some of the data usually missing. So which you have to cross-check the data as well. This is the second one. And then getting data from the different source, that will also be like on automating the data from coming from other source to your actual Excel. So in that case, sometimes the link may disconnect and you may not know. So basically what I'm trying to say here, I'm trying to emphasize here is that whenever you consolidate the data, you need to cross-check. So that's why we say check and recheck and recheck. So not twice, thrice. I don't know if I answer your question.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, it is already 30 minutes after, I think, 5:33 now. So this is a community, I would say, we have come to the end of this session, but however, we want to see that connection and networking at the end of every session we are having. So in the absence of any question, Dungus, your hand is still up. Is it the previous hand or you have a different question?
No, sir. It's the previous one, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down because it's not a physical hand. But you can take it down. So, yes. All right. So I think we have come to the end of today's session, but just remember that today's session is just the beginning of the masterclass. We are going to have several masterclasses. Each one will bring a different or unique experience to all of us on the way we are going to be dealing with data analysis, information management, monitoring, evaluation, and learning work in the various industries. As he mentioned, a person with knowledge of data analysts can work in every sector, every field, every organization. Every organization is a data organization. We all use data. With the government, with the military, with the business people, with the IT industries, we all need work with data, and they need someone with the knowledge of managing that data to work with them. So that is why we are going to continue to work with people who are expert in this industry, so that beside the online courses we are taking, these people will share the secret of this very important profession with us. So that is just it from my side on behalf of Innotech Ideation Hub and our learning community, Youth Ideation Hub. I want to thank everyone that joined us today. I appreciate you for committing your time and energy until the end of this session. Please continue to practice. When you have questions, drop it in the group. These people are in our group. They will respond to your question. I'm adding Amos also in the learning community, so that if you have some question, we can escalate to all of them. So most of you will have called your attention to enroll in the Google Data Analytics Professional Certificate, which some of you have already done so through scholarship. You now have the opportunity to complete that course for free. Those of you that haven't, please try and enroll. Even if it is to audit the course and get the knowledge without certificate, it is very necessary. So please go out and do that. Very important, so that whenever we invite someone to share more experience with us, the person will not be like speaking some jargons. We already have some level of knowledge and experience. And we are going to continue sharing opportunities with you. If there's any job vacancy, any fellowship opportunity, any internship opportunity, we are going to be dropping it in the group. We are going to have session to walk us through how best to develop your CV, how to pass the interview and the rest. So thank you for joining. We can all unmute our microphone. We can unmute our cameras and let's continue chatting. The meeting is over. And for some of us that have something to do, you can end the call. We are going to see you next time. We are going to have the recording. So yeah, Mr. Jerry, thank you for
Thank you,
joining.
Al-Bashir. Thank you, Musa Mohammed. Thank you, everyone. This class
Thank
was
you,
very
Jerry.
insightful. I hope
Thank you.
to join
Thank
you
you,
again in
everyone.
another exciting class.
I want Susu
Jerry.
to ask question.
Who has question, Kuma?
I want Susu to ask question, and she did not ask the question.
Okay. Susu. Where is Susu? I don't know whether a content creator want to convert to data analytics again.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me, please?
Yes,
we can hear
you.
Thank you so much. That was an insightful presentation, honestly. Sorry, it's Saturday and I'm a lady, so I've been busy doing up and down, but I'm listening, I'm following up. So, yes, I don't have a question for now, but I want how will I say, to emphasize this takeaway for all of us. For you to inform, you need to be informed, just like Bome said. So you should be informed first for you to inform other people using your own analytical knowledge. Thank you and over.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful day ahead.
Sir, I think I want to convert to data analysis.
It's okay.
The field can accommodate everyone, so you
Of
are
course.
always welcome to change a career. If
So
that
not time because I want Mr. Musa to give me advice as a beginner. So I think there is no time. So inshallah next I will ask this question.
Yes. So we are going to have like a career walkthrough, a different session. Maybe that one will be with Suleiman Badamasi, but we have done that during the flag up of this learning session. That also will help because it's one of the problems we are having. People are not well oriented about what to do in life, and they unfortunately find themselves doing things that they are definitely not good at, or things that are not as important as they are supposed to. In the past, most youth will tell you they want to become doctors. That's only because the only profession they know is doctor. So, but when they are given the opportunity to listen and understand other opportunities, they will find out that being a doctor is nothing. There are things that are beyond becoming a doctor. And if you come back to the computer field, some people may want to always become graphics designers or software developers. They don't know that other opportunities or other field of specialization existed in the computer field. So it is when you listen to all of them or receive some kind of orientation that you know, yes, this thing is important, it is needed everywhere, it is the job of the future. But we are not saying data analytics is the best, but what we are saying is having the orientation to be well informed before you make decision is the most important thing. So maybe who knows, if tomorrow someone introduce machine learning or AI to you, you may decide that no, it's AI and what. So the most important thing is getting to know what they all really mean before you jump into conclusion. Mr. Isaac.
Yes, please.
you've been jumping in and out throughout the meeting.
I enjoyed the session, but notwithstanding, I was able to pick something because I was off. Whenever I come back, sometimes the screen is not displaying and so on and so forth. But at least I listened to what he was saying, and it's an educative one, and I really appreciate. I equally see my tutor Mr. David Amos during the IMAP training in Damaturu, around 39. Yeah, that's true. So
Okay.
a privilege to see him again. So
Yeah,
and the rest of,
Mr. David is my classmate from the
wow.
university. Yes.
Oh,
We graduated together in computer engineering unit.
well done, sir.
Mm.
I believe that next session I will have a good opportunity to join, maybe a good network that I will join in good time and participate actively.
Yes.
Thank you.
Baba Usman,
Jerry too.
and how is
and-
Damaturu?
Ya kallo. Ya Maiduguri.
Masha. Maiduguri
Ai wanda.
lafiya galau sai mun leko ku ko.
Gaskiya dai kan shiru ba.
Muna gani kuna zuba update za mu juyo.
Haka ne sosai ma.
Muna ganin update naku sannun ku da fama.
Tawa komai.
Kyau. Imrana Usman ya kake? Barka da yau ya kuntuwa. Ta masha Allah sai Muhammad Lawan. Bari mu rufe meeting mu ce sai gobe ko?
Allah ya kai mun gode Allah saka.
Masha Allah.